And
Okay.
I'll start recording.
Okay.
So awesome. I want to say thank you, Shawn, so much for being a guest on my podcast, Got Equity Podcast, where we try to bring valuable information to the community and to the people for the people. So this is just a platform to do so. And I have Shawn Mitchell. Tell us more, Shawn, about what you do. I know you are a financial advisor or you do finances, but tell me exactly what it is that you do.
Great. So, hey, look, thanks, Sophia. Thanks for inviting me on to the Got Equity podcast. And I'm actually a financial service representative, okay? And so I'm gonna share with you the difference between those because a lot of people don't know it, okay? A
Yeah.
financial advisor is someone that you have to pay to sit in front of, okay? Just like a
Right.
lawyer, advisor. If you go and see that financial advisor, you got to pay them some money. They want at least $300 to sit in front of. A financial service representative, I have the advisor license, but I'm a representative, so you don't have to pay me. You can come to me. I'm gonna share with you information about several different products and services without you having to pay. So that's the difference, besides licensing, different types of licensing. That's the difference. The advisor, just remember, to get advice, you got to pay. As a
Yeah.
representative, I'm representing multiple companies. To get advice from me, it's free.
Awesome. So you
Awesome,
kind of
awesome.
remind me about kind of what I do. I'm the plug to all the different pieces in the real estate. I
Yes, sir.
have a service in the real estate business, but I will connect you with the different things you need I can't provide those. And I love that it's free because it's for the people, right? People need to know these things and know that you give it as a free service because a lot of times we're hesitant to
Mm-hmm.
talk to people because of cost. I know a lot of people are in
Yep.
my field, they don't want to ask me any questions. They're like, how much is it going to cost? But to have a conversation and get information should be free so that
Yep.
we can better serve our people and point them in the right direction. So, our
Awesome.
title for today is Building Your Financial House. I
Mm-hmm.
reached out to you because I saw you had a topic previously on your Facebook page where you were speaking about building your financial house. Even though I caught it midstream in your video, it was very powerful, the things you were sharing, and it was targeted more toward, was this more for men or was it in general? Share more about your plan of building a financial house.
Okay, so building a financial house is for everyone, okay? But just like you say, I do have things where I talk to men about specific about, financial houses. But my focal point of people is everyone because a financial house can start on day one of birth that people don't know. But I started doing this to tell you a little bit about myself. I started in the financial service industry about 17 years ago, Sophia. I
Wow.
come from an administration background. I used to be a director at a private school for kids with learning disabilities for many years. And I always share with people what I did not like about working that job, Sophia, is that I did not like the fact that I had to work really hard and not make enough money at the same time. Okay. And so what happened was I walked in one day and I got fired. They said, "Hey, Shawn, today is your last day. Give us the keys. We doing away with your position." I'm talking about like that, like it wasn't nothing, right? And
Wow.
so later on, a couple of years later, me and my wife, we moved here to Huntsville. And I got reintroduced to the company that I work for now. And just remember, disclaimer, you guys, or not work for, I contract with. I contract with a company. I'm not going to mention them, but they had came out and they set up investment plans and insurance plans for all the employees while I was at the school. And they asked me would I come and work for them on a part-time basis, Sophia, and I told them no. And the only reason why I told them no, I didn't see myself doing this type of work. Okay. Well, for the past 17, coming up 17 years, what I have been doing, I've been empowering people by teaching them financial services and product concepts, but I also empower people to become licensed financial service representatives. What people don't know is that big banks, big investment firms, big insurance companies are out there recruiting people like me and you to actually work from home on a part-time basis, and you can make extra money doing it. And so, when I moved here to Huntsville, Alabama, it's just crazy how it happened. I actually just met a guy. Me and him was taking our kids to school, and you know, two dudes, just, walking into school with our kids. You don't see that a lot, right? And
Right.
we befriended each other just every morning, just saying good morning and opening the door because he had a little baby and then he had a toddler and I just had a toddler. And he gave me his card and I said, man, I know about that company. I got my investments with them and I got my insurance with them. And he said, cool, come by and see me one day. And I was like, okay. And so you know how we do each other. You say, okay, but you don't have no intentions to go see that person. Well, a whole school year went by, Sophia, and the summer program started on a total opposite side of town. Okay. Just put it like this. We was at Farley at a daycare in the Farley area. And when the summer program started up, we was in Jones Valley. When I pulled up to that daycare, that same guy pulled up to the daycare.
Mm.
Right? This is how divine intervention happens. So he get out of the car. He said, "Man, look at this. We had the same program, on the total opposite side of town." He's like, "When you coming to see me?" I said, "Dude, because I keep seeing you like this, I'm coming today." And so I went by his office and I sat down with him. It's a whole, check it out. I sat down, I'm sitting in his office, and I'm looking at his picture of him and his wife and the little boy, right? And so as I talked to him, I said, "Man, I know your wife." And he was like, "Where you know my wife from?" And I was like, "Man, when before my little girl got in school, I would take her to the library downtown to the little library programs." He's like, "Yeah, my wife was taking my boy there." So I never pictured that that's the same little boy that he was bringing into school with that woman. And so he called her on the phone. This is how you know it's divine intervention. He called her on the phone and he said, "Hey, look, I'm sitting here with this guy named Shawn. He said that he knows you." And she's like, "Shawn? Shawn?" And he said he know you from the library. And she said, "Oh," she was like, "Is he a big old bald headed dude with a beard?" And he was like, "Yeah." She didn't know I was on the phone. She didn't know I can hear. He's like,
Right,
"Yeah,
right.
that's him. That's him." And she was like, "Hey, look, I always wanted you to meet that guy. I was just afraid to introduce you guys. I didn't know how to introduce y'all."
Hmm.
And we've been working together for almost 17 years.
That's a super cool story.
So
I'm gonna
so
tell
that's
you,
the
when
that's
God
the
has a plan, you can't get away from it.
Yep, divine intervention. But as
Yeah,
far as the building your financial household, it's for everyone, okay? And when I talk to you guys, it's for everyone. And to share it, it's for people to have an understanding of what they supposed to be doing on a financial level in their household.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And you caught my attention when you say house because yes, I am about houses, buying real estate, but the foundation of the house, the family is so important.
Yep,
The people in the house is so important. So
yep,
yes, taking care of our people is part of it. So
yep.
tell me the steps you have when you say building a financial house. How do you go about it?
Awesome. So I'm gonna share my screen with you. That's okay with you?
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna share my screen with you guys, and I'm gonna share that information about how to build your financial house. So, really, when I thought about this, Sophia, I thought about you guys as realtors, okay? And reason why is that a lot of times you guys have people come to you and they want to get in that house, but their money situation ain't in place, or they got the house and their money situation still is not in place. And so I said, "Hey, look, come up with a way to share with people how they can establish their financial house to either get them in a house or to help them maintain a house." Okay, so money gets people into the house, but the lack of money get people out of the house. So I'm pretty sure you don't witness both parts where, man, you got somebody in the house, but then they got in the house and they weren't doing things right. They didn't have stuff layered up. Somebody died, or somebody lost a job or something like that.
Or
Somebody,
divorce.
yeah, divorce, or somebody sued them or something like that, and they end up losing the house. You see what I'm saying? And so I said, "Hey, look, let's come up with a way to just teach people how to establish their financial house." So, hey, this is an actual house, and this is what I'm gonna ask everyone that's watching this. Go ahead and take a screenshot of this for you'll know what your financial house is supposed to look like. Okay, I'm not a genius. I didn't come up with some sort of financial science or something like that. I just thought about this because I know this is what I'm doing for my house, okay? And so I'll share this with people, not to tell you this is what you got to do, but share with you what you can do for yourself and your family, okay? And so this is how a financial house look, and I'm gonna explain to you guys each level of the house, Sophia, and how it actually works, okay? If you think about it, right? Every single day we're financially vulnerable to some things, meaning some things can happen to us that can devastate us financially, right? And one of those things is death, okay? Another thing that can devastate us financially is that next emergency, the car tear up, right? The roof fall in on the house, right? That next financial emergency can devastate you financially. But then the next thing that devastates people financially is not having money invested, right? People are saving money, but they're not investing their money to get a return. And I hear you talk about that with equity all the time. But then also another financial devastation that happens in every household is that people do not have their assets protected legally, okay? But then the final one, which you see at the very top of the house is that keeps people vulnerable, is that they have no extra income sources, meaning that if they lose a job, they lose everything, okay? So I help them build a financial house, and everything that's in the house, people should have, Sophia, but they don't talk about it, okay? So the foundation, just like you see right here, the bottom of everybody's house, we're talking about the ground floor of everybody's house should be your life insurance plan. When I say life insurance plan, I'm talking about life insurance plan that you own, not one that your job own, not one that your mom own on you, one that you own for yourself, okay? See, basically your life insurance plan basically protects your family's income. So if something happened to you, Sophia, it would ensure that all your bills get paid. It would make sure that your mortgage stays current. And then it also helped build a financial future for your children. But what people don't know is that without the foundation of life insurance, everything else becomes unstable. So I meet people out and about, and I talk to people about life insurance. And I meet people that own a home, or I meet a lot of these guys that are investors or young ladies that's investors and so forth. And when I ask them if they have life insurance, they say no. And I always ask myself, well, what's going to happen with you not having no life insurance, with you having no foundation for all that you got going on if you die tomorrow? And most of them don't have a plan because they don't understand the value of having life insurance to be the foundation of what you do in your financial house, okay? And so the first floor, if you're ready for it, is your emergency savings. This is your financial first responder, right? You call the ambulance if you're sick and you hurt, right? You call the police if you're in danger, right? Well, your emergency savings is your first floor of your financial house. It's your first responder. It's so that when, again, you got a leaky roof and you got to fix the roof, it can get paid. The car tear up, you have money to take care of it. But what I share with people, hey, look, uncle died, he lives in LA, and you got to pack up the whole family to fly to LA and buy clothes in LA and have food in LA and a hotel in LA, you have emergency savings that'll help protect you from that. It'll help pay for all of that, okay? So that's the value of emergency savings. But then also in emergency savings is that, hey, what if you're one of those people that loses your job? What if Doge pop up again and start shutting down? What if it's another government shutdown, which they're talking about right now? Your emergency savings will actually protect you from those things, okay? But
Now, if an emergency savings, is there usually an amount that you should have there when you have an emergency savings?
Yep. Great question. So it's always recommended, Sophia, that you have at least 3 to 6 months of your income saved for emergency savings, okay? Or 3 to 6 months of your monthly bills saved for emergency savings. So let's say if you make $5,000 every single month, you need $15,000 stored away for that next emergency, okay? Just in case you catch COVID and you can't work for 2 weeks, you still need a way to pay your bills, right? Or you need that 6 months, right? That which is $30,000. But you will want to have those things in place to make sure that if something happened financially, everything is okay. Great question. Any other question?
No, that was the only
Okay.
one.
Awesome. Awesome. So
Yeah,
we'll go to the second floor of the house. That's okay with you?
absolutely.
Right there in the yellow, you guys can see that yellow, right? It says this is your strategic investment plan. This is basically where wealth building happens. Investments grow through compound interest, fighting inflation, and creating long term financial freedom. This floor transforms hard work into lasting prosperity that works for you around the clock. Hey, Sophia, you know what goes in this spot? Equity.
Nice. You know, I love that
owning
word.
owning your home, right, and
Yes.
having equity goes
Yes.
into this spot because it's money that grows.
It's right.
Your bank
Accumulate.
money don't grow.
That's right.
People
No,
don't
no,
know that.
no.
Have you noticed you put $100 or $1,000 in the bank, and when they send you the statement for the next month, it's $1,000 and maybe a penny.
Right.
And so the
Right.
bank is not in business to make you no money. So you cannot establish long term wealth with a bank, but you can establish long term wealth with an equity plan. You can start
Absolutely.
long term wealth with investing your money in the stock market, right? Doing,
Absolutely.
doing the right things with your money will help you be okay in the future. It's all about building a financial future. Just like I heard you explain, equity it's going to grow over a period of time. The longer you own that home, the more your equity is going to grow, right? All right.
Absolutely.
Same thing with an investment. If you're investing in a mutual fund, just say if you don't own a home, you got a mutual fund or some sort of investment, it has to grow. It's gonna grow as long as you participating in it. But you have to have them. So if you own a home, you got an investment plan. You just got to learn how to use it, and that's what Sophia come into place, right?
Absolutely.
That's what's up.
Absolutely.
But then the third floor, if you see right here in the purple, is the legal protection, okay? This is really, 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 really important. I'm gonna tell you why, Sophia, okay? Uh,
Hmm.
we're the first generation. We'll talk about African Americans. I'm talking about our skin folks, okay? I always call us
Okay.
skin folks. We look alike, right? In
Right.
skin, right?
Right.
And so we're the first generation of people that's gonna get any sort of inheritance, meaning that our parents are gonna die. They're gonna leave us homes. They're gonna leave us cars. They're gonna leave us jewelry. They're gonna leave us their 401ks and their retirement plans and their investment plans. We're the first generation that's doing it. It's actually something out there that a lot of us don't know. They call it the wall of wealth. The biggest transfer of money and assets is happening right now today.
Wow.
And it's supposed to happen for over 20 years. However, my skin folks don't know nothing about it. And so we missing out on what's going on. All the
Right.
way down to banks and investment firms trying to receive your money. Where they'll say, "Hey, bring your money over here, and we're gonna do this with your money." Well, actually, they're gonna invest your money and give you a low return. And so it's a money grab out there in the financial service industry that we don't know about. Okay. So
Mm.
because we now have money, mama left us a house, mama left us cars or 401ks and investment accounts and all that good stuff. We have to legally protect those things, meaning that we have to have legal documents in place to make sure that these things are protected. And that comes in the form of a will and a trust. So I teach people the difference between a will and a trust. And to keep it simple, I do Zooms just like you're doing right now. But to keep it simple, a will is going to say, you get this car. A trust will say, will give directions about what need to be done with this car. You get this car at 28, you take this car and you restore it. You see what I'm saying? And you cannot sell this car until you 48. Okay.
That's right. It's
So
good for people to do that with their real estate.
with their
Absolutely.
real estate, same thing. That should have been my example. Your
Yep.
your your
Yep.
will will say to your child, you get this home, right? But
Hmm.
your trust will say you get this home at the age of 25, and what I want you to do is place this home. I mean, take this home, and I want you to sell it. You see what I'm saying? And take the money or use the equity for whatever you want. That so the will is gonna give it to you, but the trust is gonna give directions. Okay.
And another little caveat, if you don't have a will when you die, the home goes straight to probate and it has to go through that process. The will keep that from happening.
The trust will keep it from
The
happening.
trust keeps it from
Trust
happening.
will keep it. Trust will keep it from happening. So
Okay.
that's good. And so if I can give you an example, because I just finished helping a family establish their legal protection program, and I share with them because this, I guess people don't think about this, but Facebook and YouTube and all that stuff be listening to you, right? Especially if you Google something or you have a conversation, I'm for real. Like literally, I was in Target one day and spoke to this young lady, had a conversation with her, walked away, and up on Facebook popped person that you should know. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
She
Yes.
popped up, right?
Yes.
But
It seems like if
anyway,
I think about something these days, the thought crossed my mind. It seems like it'll pop up. I'm like, is
yep,
AI reading my mind?
they say it's true,
I
but
promise you.
but what's crazy? What happened is that I Google this stuff and look this stuff up all the time. So it's always a reel gonna pop up. So a reel popped up about Barry White. You familiar with Barry White, right? The musician,
Absolutely,
right?
we know Barry.
So do you know his story about his wife and his ex-wife, his wife and his girlfriend?
No, I just
Okay.
know he had secret gardens and he
So he
tore
can
it up.
sing, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And so what happened with Barry, it was a lady that shared this that actually does legal protection program. Barry White was married for many, many years to one woman. Him and that woman separated but never got a divorce. Okay? He had children with her, whole 9 yards, right? Throughout his lifetime, he acquired a new girlfriend. He dated that girlfriend for many, many years because Barry White was like 70 or in his 60s when he died. He
Right.
dated his girlfriend for many, many years. They lived in a
Exactly.
home together. They even had a child together, okay?
Wow.
Barry died. When he died, he had no will in place, no trust in place, but he never divorced that first wife. Guess who got all the assets?
That first wife.
That
She
first
had the
wife.
paperwork.
Yep, she had the paperwork.
That's
But
why I
then
get irritated when people say marriage don't matter. It really does.
it does matter. And
It
so
matters.
she got all of those things. So the girlfriend said, okay, well, this is his baby, right? So all of those assets got tied up and locked up into probate, right?
Wow.
Probate cost. It cost, right? I
Yeah.
think it went for probate like 10 or 12 years. That 10 or 12 years sucked up a lot of that money. Well, at the very end, they found out that the girlfriend that had the little baby, that was not his baby.
Ouch.
The wife got everything that was left behind that didn't
Ouch.
get taken up through probate. So that's why you have your legal documents in place. You have legal protection in place in your household because you got to protect everything in your house. You got to protect your investments. You got to
Absolutely.
protect your emergency savings. You got to protect your life insurance plan. And how you do that, you get legal protection with a will and a trust. But then the final floor, which is the top floor, is income creation, right? We just
Mhm.
wish Doge shut down. We witnessed Amazon, UPS, the chicken plant that shut down in that little small town, all the craziness that we see right now, the government shutdowns and all that good stuff. People went without. It was an actually real struggle for those people. But the only reason why those people struggled is that they had no income sources coming in. They depended solely on their job. Okay. And
Right.
so what I do is I share with people the income opportunity to be a financial service representative. Just like I said in the beginning, big banks, big investment firms, big insurance companies are recruiting people to work from home. I work from home 99% of the time. I got an office on Bald Wallace Drive. But my job is to teach and educate people about financial services. So why that's important is not a lot of people that look like me that do what I do, that's licensed to do what I do, okay? But here's the deal. We have money. And because we have money, we need people that look like us, live in our community to be able to educate us and teach us about services and products. So you say, Shawn, man, what about these men? Yeah, we need these guys to start talking about money. okay, at their kitchen table with their wives and their kids, discussing money and how to invest and how insurance work, and telling the wife what's in the household so that everybody can be protected. So again, this is a picture of your financial house. It's your job to protect your house. And how you protect it is with life insurance, emergency savings, investing, legal protection, and extra income. That makes sense to you?
Absolutely. And the
Awesome, awesome,
breakdown and the diagram is fabulous. Phenomenal
awesome,
even. For real.
awesome, awesome,
Yes.
awesome.
It gave me a lot of enlightenment. Just how you lined it up, the tiers even.
Mm-hmm.
So it enlightened me quite a bit.
Yep. Your
Thank
house ain't right unless it look like this.
Okay.
And so with a house like this, they could come to you and buy a home. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
They could come and buy a home because you see their money right. That
Mhm.
people don't know that a mortgage company, if they see that you finna buy a $500,000 house and you got a $500,000 worth of life insurance, that's thumbs up to them because they saying that person responsible. And if they pass away, they can leave that life insurance plan to us because that's all your mortgage protection is a life insurance plan. Most people don't know that, but that's all it is.
Yes. I know that just because they call me all the time about mine. All
Yep.
the time. And I'm like, mortgage protection, that's just some insurance.
That's it.
That's
That's
all.
it.
And
That's
and
it.
so maybe the next one we can talk about on our next live because we're gonna wrap it up. We got like 5 minutes left,
Uh
but we
huh.
can wrap it up and maybe preface for the next time talking about how that should look as far as um we were talking about. I forgot the thought, but it doesn't matter.
Was the
But you did.
homeowner insurance what I sent you that information about? The value of your
No,
home
I
and
think we were
your
talking about like the men in the house and how they can
oh
better lead. That could be
oh
our
so
next.
the next one. So, if you want me to tell about real quick, because I know you said we got 5 minutes, okay?
Yeah, we do.
Every morning at 6 o'clock, I have I don't even have a name for it, but I discuss bringing men to the table for men to come to the table with their families on a daily basis. As men, Sophia, in our household, we have to take over the responsibility of being spiritual personal trainers and helping our families build their spiritual health. Okay. Well, I call a spiritual personal trainer. Believe it or not, years ago, I used to be a personal trainer. My job was to have people at the gym at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and make sure they work out. Okay.
Wow.
Well, now my job is to have my wife and my kids at the kitchen table at 7:15 every morning for we can work on our spiritual health to prepare them to be in this world, okay? And to give
Absolutely.
them biblical habits, okay? I call it biblical habits so that they can survive on a spiritual level. So that's my deal. My last day doing this is on the 5th. I will be doing stuff throughout the year, but just a 1 month thing of just showing the fellas how to do it because a lot of times guys think that they got to be the minister or the Sunday school teacher or they got to be the perfect speaker to be able to do it. And all it is just reading it. It's on the YouVersion Bible app, okay? And
Yeah.
all it is for those people to read it. So I'd be happy to, come on and talk about that one day if you like.
Absolutely. And even if you don't have an app, you got Daily Bread. I love the Daily Bread. You can take
That's
a
it.
little scripture from that daily reading and
Yeah,
use it as a foundational or a framework.
that's it. That's
I
it.
love that. So that's so important. Thank you for sharing your viewpoints, your information. All of that's very valuable, and I'm grateful for you sharing for sure.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So if somebody wants to plug in with you and talk about the financial pieces, how they can start building their financial house, how do they contact you?
Awesome. So great question. So you can find me on Facebook, send me a messenger on Facebook for sure. I'm Shawn Mitchell. I don't get away with much. I look the same in person. I look the same on the internet. So, you'll see me and you'll know who I am. But you can also text to me to my phone number 256-975-0825. I'm gonna say it again, 256-975-0825. Financial house. text that to me. What'll happen? Either myself or someone at my office will contact you. We'll schedule a one-on-one Zoom, or we can do a in-person where we'll sit down and we'll answer your questions and see how we can actually help you out. So, disclaimer: please don't send me text messages trying to get me to text and explain everything I know via the text message, because I will not do it. And don't do it on Facebook either.
That's right. That's
People sit there
right.
and text you 100 questions. Hey, what is it? Man, just get on the Zoom, ask me
And
questions, or come and
yay,
meet me.
and clear it up 15,
That's
20
it.
minutes, right?
Yeah,
People try to do the same thing about houses. I'm like, I've never sold a house through text. We're going to have to
that's
talk at
it.
some point.
Yeah,
We're going to
man,
have
we
a
ain't finna do it.
conversation.
That's
Yeah,
it, man. That's it.
cool. Well, this has been a pleasure getting to know
Right.
more about you and your business. And thank you for being of value to the community, because you definitely bring equity, you bring value to our community. So thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Hey, real quick before we get off, because I want to share this with my Facebook family and friends. Can you
Absolutely.
share also? I know this is on your page, but can you share how they could get in contact with you?
Absolutely. So it's Sophia Langford on all the platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, and it TikTok as well. It's the Sophia Langford on IG. And then my brand Got Equity. This is where we'll put this video on the Got Equity platform. Then I share it to Sophia. And Got Equity is on Facebook, also TikTok. And then it's Big Got Equity on IG, the big
There we go. Well, hey,
one.
appreciate that. I appreciate you, Sophia.
Yes, facts. And phone number, if you ever want to reach, is so the best way to contact me probably is gotequitynow.com. That's my website. If you go there, you can just book a strategy session. And the phone number for quick calls is 256-468-0634.
Awesome. Awesome. Appreciate that.
Facts. And then also reach out to Shawn. He knows how to get in with a player.
There we go. That's what's up. We'll make it
For
happen.
sure. For sure. Well, thank you so much for sharing info. And we're going to get together and schedule our next one. Okay. Until then, you be good. Okay.
You too, Sosa. Take care. Have a good one.
Yes, sir. Enjoy the next meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome.